My story started in 2009 when I suffered a very traumatic accident in the military, and it was followed by an unsuccessful operation. But, well, there's two sides. There was the physical damage to my right leg, and there was the fact that I was left for dead. So that kind of played some games with my head for a long time. And in 2010, I was still having surgery, and I was told that to be thankful that I still had my leg, and it was unlikely I would ever walk again. And I didn't for 4 years. I did an awful lot of hydrotherapy because I couldn't really do much else. I was in a tremendous amount of pain and taking a lot of very strong painkillers. And I gradually got onto a little bit more of land type exercises. I had to have a lot of lymphatic drainage because my leg was totally shattered, but there was also a lot of vascular damage and soft tissue damage and muscles that had been removed and not put back properly. So after 8 surgeries, I was determined to prove the medical system wrong with their prognosis, and I tried really, really hard. And I did start to move, only through sheer determination. So in some ways I created some more problems for myself because I was recruiting all the wrong muscles. I was doing anything I could just to get from A to B, to say, look, I can do it. So as the years went on, I was still in a lot of pain, and still, I'd progressed, of course, from a wheelchair to a walking frame, to underarm crutches, to Canadian crutches, to walking stick. But I still couldn't bend my leg properly. It was really limiting with what I could do. And when I started with Dr. Joe's work, I could put on a pretty good facade for a lot of people for a certain time, until the pain became so overwhelming that I just kind of disappeared. My leg felt as heavy as a Corinthian column. It was like dragging around this big lump of concrete. And like I said, it had very limited bend. And I had 5 surgeons, and the last 2 definitely said that, it's not going to bend anymore. Kim, just live with it. This is as good as it gets. And I started the work, and I noticed that I got a bit more range of movement, and which was very exciting for me. It wasn't much, it was about 1 inch, but it was good. And I kept doing it, and of course it was a lot slower than I had hoped, but I hung in there, and yes, I got frustrated, and yes, I got impatient, because really I suppose it's been 3.5 years I've been doing Dr. Joe's work. But coming to Sardinia, I was just blown away after the healing that I was given, and then the healing that I administered the following day just made it more, just made it better. So I woke up the day after my healing, and there was no more pain, which I'd been suffering because I'd already missed a week of my therapy by coming here. So I was starting to slide a bit backwards with my flexibility and movement, and I found the walking in the sand rather challenging. So I was getting sore, but the soreness had gone, the pain had gone, and I just tried to bend my leg, and it bent so much more. And then and then 24 hours later, I rolled over onto my stomach and was able to hold my ankle and do the boat pose as not quite the same as most flexible yogis, but I was really happy with it because I didn't think I would ever get to that stage. And I know it's going to get a little bit more now that once I get a bit of strength in my hamstring, I'll be able to keep pushing it just that little bit more.